Today on Carolina News.
So he's really scary. Like, it makes me not feel safe. So.
Carolina Alert. See why USC students were alerted in the late hours last night. Eclipse preparations. People are already getting ready for the total solar eclipse in August. What will you be doing to watch? Graduation time. A picture-perfect moment, but could the pictures be causing a huge mess?
But in my opinion, it's littering. We're actually just littering the horseshoe area.
Carolina News starts now.
Live from the capital city, Carolina News brings you your news first. With breaking news and in-depth reporting. Up-to-the-minute weather. And all your sports news and highlights. It's all here, now, on Carolina News.
Hello and welcome to Carolina News. I'm Tiffany Lewis.
Good afternoon. Thank you for joining us. I'm Andrea Esselman. The search is on for two unidentified armed robbers who robbed someone on USC's campus. The incident happened late last night, but as far as we know, no arrests have been made. Carolina News reporter Brandon Knapp is in the newsroom with the latest. Brandon?
That's right, ladies. The Columbia Police Department has taken over the investigation into the armed robbery that occurred around 1 a.m. this morning. The incident took place at the intersection of Blossom and Sumter Street. The three suspects fled towards the Blossom Street parking garage and managed to escape. The university sent out a text at approximately 12:46 a.m. notifying students and describing the three men. An update message was later sent, confirming that the suspects were no longer believed to be in the area. Today I talked to a student who lives right next to the location of the robbery and who feared for her roommate's safety.
I knew my roommate was down at 5 points, and she actually got back right before it happened, and she was like, yeah, I walked here by myself, but she's like 95 pounds. I was like, that's not okay. I was like, I would have gone and picked you up. She's like, I mean, I'm fine. I was like, I know, but there was a robbery that they had guns and whatnot. So he's really scary. It makes me not feel safe. So.
There are several reports going around that the suspects were armed with a handgun. However, after reaching out to the Columbia Police Department, I was unable to confirm those reports. Andrea and Tiffany, back to you in the studio.
A Berkeley County deputy is on leave after hitting a motorcyclist twice in a high-speed chase that ended in a fatal wreck. The motorcyclist was chased by Deputy James Vansant for speeding. The chase lasted about 5 minutes and at times reached speeds over 100 miles per hour. Check out this video here. The driver seems to slow down suddenly and the cop hits him. The driver slows down a second time, possibly for the car in front of him, and again loses control, fatally wrecking. Driver Robert Lee Jr. died at the scene, and Deputy Vansant's actions are under review.
Kevin Heisey, the coach who was suspended at Brooklyn Casey High School, has submitted his resignation to Lexington School District 2. This decision follows his controversial life lesson speech, where he referenced thugs and rednecks. Parents and students supported Heisey throughout the investigation and started a change.org petition with over 2,000 signatures to bring him back.
A total solar eclipse will occur 4 months from today, an event that has not occurred in Colombia or in the continental United States since 1979. Reporter Stan Smith will tell you what events to look for leading up to and including the day of the eclipse.
A total solar eclipse, one of the rarest natural phenomenons, will pass over Columbia in August of this year, and the South Carolina State Museum is wasting no time getting ready for the event. Museum Education Director Tom Falvey says the museum has been preparing for the eclipse for quite some time.
We started preparing for the eclipse about 6 years ago, which is hard to imagine. When we started building the observatory and the planetarium and building the telescope collection you see here, we really knew we were going to have something special as a venue for the eclipse. So we started thinking about it long ago. In the past couple of years, we've really started to work hard with our area folks in Columbia and the Midlands to try to prepare something special for this area as well as for here at the museum.
Executive Director of One Columbia, Lee Snellgrove, offers his suggestions on where to watch the eclipse, which includes a Columbia Fireflies game that will happen during the eclipse.
I'd say everybody wants to get in sort of an open area. The baseball game would be a great one. It'd be great to be down at the State Museum, and I think any kind of open area.
It'll be right here in front of the South Carolina State Museum on August 21st that people from all over the world will be coming to to watch the solar eclipse come right over Columbia.
Falvey says the museum has been receiving ticket requests from several different countries and cities worldwide.
We have had tickets sales from Hong Kong, Sweden, Scotland, and then anywhere from Miami all the way up to New Hampshire. So this is definitely a big event, and people will travel from all over to come here and to come to other places along the path.
This is an event you do not want to miss. The next time a total solar eclipse will come over the entire state of South Carolina will be in the year 2078. That's a long time from now. And for more on how the solar eclipse will impact the economic side of Columbia, here's reporter Alex Garino.
The population of Columbia, South Carolina is about 133,000 people. In just 4 months, the city will temporarily see those numbers increase tenfold. A transcontinental spectacle that hasn't graced the country in nearly 100 years will soon make Columbia the hotspot of the East Coast.
Columbia is really trying to position itself as the place to watch the total solar eclipse in August of 2017.
NASA predicts that nearly 1 million people will travel to Columbia and its surrounding areas for August's total eclipse, as it will be the best place on the East Coast to view the event.
As school winds down, as summer starts, those families are going to start to look at planning travel.
Kelly Barbary, Vice President for Sales for Experience Columbia SC, sees the enormous potential that this spectacle could bring to the city.
We have definitely recognized that this is a tourist attraction. This is not a natural phenomenon, but we are definitely viewing it as a tourist attraction for that entire weekend.
A weekend that could break records and budgets. Hotel prices have soared to out-of-this-world proportions, and even Airbnbs are going from $600 to over $1,000 a night. So how can travelers see this event without breaking the bank?
Maybe if they don't want to use a traditional hotel or Airbnb or something like that, maybe check out camping.
The total experience for the total eclipse. Alex Garino, Carolina News.
To explore camping and other low-budget options for Total Eclipse Weekend, you can visit totaleclipsecolumbiasc.com.
Well, this is going to be a really cool event to see.
Yeah, absolutely. It's going to be very interesting. But, you know, it's not cool right now, this weather we have outside. Our weatherman, Ryan Solomon, is out on the horseshoe to tell us more about this weather.
It definitely hasn't been cool outside today. It has been hot. It's been in the high 80s, low 90s throughout the day, and that heat wave is going to continue tomorrow, where it's going to be in the low 90s. However, that heat's going to stop on Sunday when these storms in the Midwest roll into Columbia, thunderstorming Sunday and Monday. I'll tell you more about those storms coming up later in the show. Back to you in the studio.
Arkansas has made its first execution in more than a decade. Lidl Lee was killed by lethal injection just before midnight on Thursday. The last execution in Arkansas was in 2005, but the state has planned to push through 8 of them in just 11 days starting this week. Protests have broken out in response to the execution, aiming to end the death penalty. The state says they were doing this because the lethal injection drugs expire at the end of the month.
A Tennessee teacher who is accused of kidnapping a 15-year-old girl was arrested Thursday. Investigators say Tad Cummins and Elizabeth Thomas were found in a cabin in California after 39 days on the run. The pair disappeared weeks after a student reported seeing Cummins kissing Thomas in a classroom. The teen's family are now preparing to welcome her home after more than a month.
We're gonna have to figure out what kind of state of mind she's in, of course, and probably get her some help. Maybe a long road, but at least we got her back now. We got her back.
We love you and we can't wait to see you, and it's amazing, and we have so many words. We're so excited.
Police say they found 2 handguns in the cabin, but the teen seems to be in good health. Prosecutors are now working to build a case against Cummins.
Prosecutors have now opened a terror investigation into the attack in Paris yesterday that left 1 police officer dead and 2 people wounded. The attacker was identified as 39-year-old Karim Sharoufi. Sharoufi had previously spent 20 years in jail after trying to kill officers in 2001. He had also been under preliminary investigation for terrorism 2 months ago, but was let go. President Donald Trump responded to the attacks in a press conference yesterday.
Condolences from our country to the people of France. Again, it's happening, it seems. I just saw it as I was walking in, so that's a terrible thing.
This attack comes just 3 days before the French presidential election. Current French President Francois Hollande says they will have extra security during the election following the attacks.
And for all the Snapchat users out there, check this out. The popular app just released new filters that create 3D effects on real-time video. Some of the 3D effects include rainbows, fields of flowers, and pre-programmed phrases like Happy Friday. This feature also allows effects to show on the back camera as well as the front camera. So that's a pretty cool, high-tech, really neat thing that's happening right now.
Definitely, it's fun to play around with. I was messing around with it earlier. It took me a second to get it pulled up, but
definitely.
Once you start playing with it, it's really fun.
It really is a lot of fun.
Coming up, what are some seniors focusing on this school year as it comes to a close?
The new gorillas and feed the giraffes at Riverbank Zoo, Columbia.
5 people are safe after being trapped in the Saluda River yesterday. The group was stuck on an island in the Shandon Rapids near the Riverbank Zoo. SCE&G released water from the Lake Murray Dam, causing the levels of the Saluda River to rise. Officers quickly saved the people who were trapped, and officials say the people getting stuck at this part of the river happens often.
It's the final countdown for a lot of students here at USC, leaving only a little time left to complete the ultimate Gamecock bucket list. Our Carolina News reporter Allison McHugh got the chance to spend the day with one senior rushing around trying to check off her last few boxes.
So this is the list, the infamous list.
Started in like August, and so we've been working through them for almost 9 months now.
All right. So we're going to do some of them today.
Yeah, I'm pumped. Let's go.
And we're off to sneak into President Pastides' private garden, one of the final unchecked boxes of senior Claire Kudlata's bucket list.
We're here. Oh my gosh, it's like all set up in the back.
It's cute.
We did it. We're in. We're in? Good? Yeah, let's go.
All right, check.
And just like that, we were on to the next.
All right, so let's go to the clapping circle.
All right.
The clapping circle is one of USC's hidden talents. Rumor has it, if you clap in the middle of the circle, campus claps back.
It works!
Oh, cool.
That is cool. All right, 2 down, 1 to go.
One more.
I'll check it off.
And the final box of the day came with a pizza inside.
That looks good.
From Pandini's, a delicacy that brought her back a couple of years.
Like first semester freshman year.
All right.
Ready to check it off?
Check it off. There we go. 3 out of 3.
And with 3 more boxes checked, Claire is one step closer to graduating with no hesitations.
Cheers to 2017.
Congrats.
Allison McHugh, Carolina News.
Seniors graduating in May have 14 days left to check boxes off of their bucket list.
And you know what else has to be done in the next 2 weeks is graduation pictures around campus. But have the celebratory pictures become too much of an issue? Our Parker King investigates how some students' treasure has become someone else's trash.
Graduation, a time for celebration and a time to make memories.
Exciting, but at the same time kind of scary. Yeah, the first time we put on our dresses and put on our caps and gowns and looked at each other, we were like, wow, this is really weird.
Roommates Kenzie Thompson and Brooke Gabriel graduate in 2 weeks, and like many seniors, they're taking graduation pictures. But capturing these memories is making a mess for the university's landscaping department.
It's steadily becoming a worse problem. The Horseshoes, it's a beautiful place. I understand people want to come out and take pictures here. I mean, I would as well, but the glitter for us from a maintenance standpoint, it's very difficult to clean up. It's all over the lawn.
USC's landscaping manager Norman Stewart says the glitter and champagne used for the pictures is causing a problem they weren't prepared for.
We could maybe blow it and scoop it, but again, you're just looking at man hours to deal with something that we haven't planned for, really.
Stewart says they have mowers and sweepers that can help, but the fine material is hard to fully pick up.
We left it alone. I mean, it could be here for years and years. You know, it doesn't degrade.
Stewart also says the champagne on campus presents another issue.
We're an alcohol-free campus, so it's not very good for that kind of image.
Some grads think all their hard work is worth a little bend in the rules.
And I know we're going to look back on these photos since we're putting so much effort into them, and we'll be really happy in the end.
With graduation 2 weeks away, Stewart asked students to do their part.
The thought of having to continue try to clean this up, even after graduation, we got other things to do.
Parker King, Carolina News.
If you haven't taken your graduation pictures yet, Stewart asks students to be cautious and to not use the glitter and at least clean up afterwards.
Today marks the 1-year anniversary of pop icon Prince's death. Thousands of fans have been visiting Minnesota over the past year to visit Prince's hometown and see some famous landmarks related to the singer. An autopsy revealed that Prince died of an accidental overdose of the prescription drug fentanyl. Prince had multiple prescriptions for the medication, and his death still remains under investigation. And prescription drug abuse has been on the rise in America, not just in high-profile cases like that of Prince, but also right here in South Carolina. I looked further into this issue and discovered a new drug that's taking the country by storm, specifically on college campuses. Here's what I found. Prescription drug abuse has skyrocketed across America, and college kids' newest drug of choice? Xanax. One small pill with massive effects.
I think just about every student has definitely heard about it.
The drug is being taken by students to ease nerves and relax, but when mixed with other drugs, it can become incredibly dangerous.
They're either mixing them with other prescription medications, but probably most commonly with alcohol. And so somebody who thinks they're just going to relax and have a good time quickly goes from feeling kind of drunk and euphoric to passed out into dangerous, into dead.
Fox tells us that in the past decade alone, the increase in use is staggering.
10 years ago, we might have 1 out of every 5 people that would have had a significant experience with any kind of anxiety medications in any kind of a habitual or recreational use. Now it's probably 4 out of every 5.
The drug can be obtained legally in certain cases.
We got diagnosed with a panic disorder as opposed to just generalized anxiety.
But even when prescribed for good reason, some try to take advantage of it.
And people were like, "Oh my gosh, you're so different. What's been going on? You seem so much better." Blah blah blah. And I'd say, "Yeah, I got prescribed some medications, and I'm, having my panic under control." And they'd be like, "Oh, well, what'd you get? How much?"
And it's the normalization of the prescription that's the biggest problem in stopping the abuse.
They're seeing mom and dad, they're seeing their friends get prescriptions for all kinds of things. And so the fear, the natural fear that I think probably a generation ago we had is quickly kind of disappearing.
A fear that if completely diminished could have the potential to be fatal. If you or someone you know is suffering from any type of addiction, you can get help from the Palmetto Health Recovery Center.
Wow, that really is that's sad.
Yeah, but it's important for people to know that there are ways to get help and to recover.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Well, our weatherman Brian Solomon is out at the Horseshoe and is about to tell us about some weather conditions coming to Columbia. Brian?
You're right. This weather that we're having might cause you some anxiety because it is extremely hot, and then we got some storms rolling in right after that. But I'll tell you more about those weather conditions coming up next.
Adopt a dog, adopt a big dog, unless you have a small apartment. But if you have a little grass, get off your ass. Adopt a dog, adopt a dog, adopt a big dog, and you will have a bigger friend. Adopt a dog, adopt a big dog, give him a home he can defend. Ooh.
Sir, do you have any idea how super cool you are?
Yeah, thanks.
Can I have a picture of you for above my bed, please?
hurricane season is dying out, but it's still a pretty big deal. Tropical storm Arlene has moved out into the open Atlantic, and she is an unseasonably early storm. The last time a tropical storm formed in April was back in 2003. Arlene is also the farthest north a tropical storm has ever formed in the Atlantic this early in the season. So that's pretty crazy that we've got this really early storm going on.
Yeah, I saw some sprinkles today. Was that a part of the storm?
Well, that was a very abnormal shower, but we are going to have some abnormal weather coming up. But let me tell you, currently in Columbia, it is hot. It is 87 degrees, not the high humidity Columbia is used to, but that's still a significant number, 37%, and a light breeze at 9 miles per hour. But it has been a hot day throughout the state. In the upstate, 87 in Greenville, 87 in Rock Hill, really hot in Florence at 88, but on the coast, we got some cooler temperatures at 80 down in Hilton Head in Charleston. Now this national map, this is pretty significant what I'm about to show you. We have some storms rolling in from the Midwest, all right? So you see all that green, it's been hitting the Midwest pretty nicely, and those cold winds up in Canada is meeting those nice warm winds that we've been experiencing that's been coming up from the Gulf and from the south. So what those are doing, they're meeting and they're creating this big front that's over, Missouri, we see Tennessee, Kentucky, and it's going to move slowly because there's such strong winds. They're going to be moving slowly east, and they'll be coming over Columbia on Sunday and Monday, causing some pretty significant storms. It should start maybe Saturday night, but the bulk of it's going to hit on Sunday and Monday. But tonight is going to be pretty nice, okay? It's going to be 65 in Columbia. It's going to be warm on the coast, 68 in Hilton Head and Charleston. And in the upstate, 61 in Rock Hill and 64 in Greenville. Now, if we look at tomorrow, again, hot like today, 90 in Columbia, 89 in Florence, 82 in Myrtle Beach, 82 in Hilton Head. But this week, it's going to be crazy, like I said. It's going to be hot tomorrow, storms Sunday, Monday, and then Tuesday, it's going to clear up, and Wednesday, it's going to be back to the hot temperatures we've been having at 85 degrees. But so it's going to be an interesting week.
Yeah, just a couple showers this weekend, but then we'll have some nice weather next week.
Yeah, clear up by Wednesday.
Yep.
Well, coming up on sports, let's find out how this play ends for NBA champion Tristan Thompson next.
The new gorillas and feed the giraffes at Riverbank Zoo, Columbia.
I like to volunteer for the Neighborhood Emergency Response Team to help the firefighters. As you know, I was Fireman of the Year 3 times.
You're Mariano Rivera.
Thank you.
Fireman of the Year is a baseball award.
Yes.
You're not actually a fireman.
No.
Fireman of the Year, huh?
Just a few more minutes.
When you help your neighbors, you help your nation. Make a difference. Volunteer. Learn how at usafreedomcorps.gov.
Well, with the school year coming to a close, I know some of the Gamecocks teams are closing out the regular season.
That's right. Terrence, what can we expect this postseason?
Yeah, there are some teams trying to get into that postseason stride, but first, let's take it to the fairway. The University of South Carolina men's golf team kicked off their 2017 SEC Championship early this morning in St. Simons Island, Georgia. This year at the tournament, there are some new rules, and head coach Bill McDonald thinks the new rules should make for a great championship.
We talked about doing this, and it takes a while for 14 coaches to come to an agreement. But this is our first year trying this. 54 holes of stroke play, then cutting to the low 8 and finishing that out with match play. So we should have a great championship.
The tournament runs from today until Monday. Live scoring of the event should be found on golfstat.com. While the men are in Georgia, the Lady Gamecocks golf team is in Hoover, Alabama for their SEC tournament. And head coach Kaylin Anderson feels that being patient on the course is a big key to the Gamecocks' success.
I think, if we can get our heads in the right place and just stay really, committed and steady with our games and not get down on ourselves and just, hang in there all week, I think we're going to have a good week and really just keep ourselves in the event.
Live scoring of this event can also be found on golfstat.com. From the fairway to the diamond, the Gamecock baseball team is taking on Florida in Gainesville. After losing to the Gators 1-0 last night, the Gamecocks look to rebound in Game 2 of their 3-game series against the Gators. Tonight's first pitch from Gainesville will be at 7 on the SEC Network. And if you're wanting some local sports action, you are in luck. The Gamecock softball team is starting their 3-game series tonight against the Auburn Tigers. During the weekend, they'll be celebrating the 1997 softball team that won the SEC regular and tournament championships. The 97 team also went 63-5 and rattled off a 38-game winning streak. The game tonight against the Auburn Tigers will start at 6. From college to the pros, the NBA playoffs are in full swing, and let's take a look at this nasty tomahawk slam from Indiana Pacer Miles Turner. The play starts off with a soft pick and roll with Paul Jordan Turner. Turner's shot is a miss, but he gathers the rebound and puts Tristan Thompson on a poster. Look at this, the crowd is going crazy. Let's watch it once again in slow-mo. There was nothing that they could do in the game actually. They were down 25 points, but the Cavs came back to go up 3-0 in the series. Well, that's pretty embarrassing for someone of his high caliber to get dunked on like that. It's just,
it was an incredible play, though.
Yeah.
I know he dates Khloe Kardashian, so she was probably pretty embarrassed.
That's probably what happened, the Kardashian curse.
Well, unicorns might be real after all. At least at Starbucks they are. Check out what new drink Starbucks is whipping up next.
Are you getting this, honey?
Oh, prime time. We are rolling.
All right, Mama's gonna bring it home. Mama's gonna bring it home. Okay.
Come on, watch this guy.
Oh, backwards.
Oh, don't. Okay.
It went into Bob and Carol's yard. Oh, no? Okay, here it comes.
Oh, Mom!
Challenge your kids to be active and eat healthy.
All right, let's see what you can do. Let's go.
They might surprise you.
Let's go.
Search We Can for more ideas on how you and your kids can get healthy together.
Starbucks has a new unicorn-themed drink that has taken the internet by storm. The drink is a cream frappuccino dusted with sweet pink and sour blue powder. People have been lining up to get one of these cool, colorful, fruity drinks and have been posting mixed reviews about it all over social media. The drink is only available until the end of next week. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah, I went to try and get one today, though. It was sold out. Apparently they just keep getting shipments in like every couple hours because so many people are going and getting them.
Wow. I don't understand it. I'm not really a sugar kind of guy, but I know Brian is.
Well, I do love Starbucks. It'll be perfect to drink one tomorrow when it is hot, 90 degrees tomorrow. But unfortunately, that temperature is going to go down on Sunday and Monday when we have thunderstorms rolling in. It's going to cool down on Monday, but warm up next week.
Well, that's all the time we have for today. Thanks so much for being with us.
See you tomorrow. Have a great evening.